Today, as a child in Jenin camp, you grow up knowing my future is limited to three choices: either a martyr, a prisoner, or handicapped.
All right, let's bring in Osama Nazzal for more analysis. He's a Palestinian affairs analyst and joins us now from Jenin and in the occupied West Bank. Osama, good to have you on the show. I want to ask you if these raids and attacks and killings by the Israeli security forces solely connected to the killings in Tel Aviv, or because it seems that every year at the beginning of Ramadan, we always tend to see an uptick in tensions between the two sides.
First, thank you for having me in your news bulletin. When we talk about the Israeli military escalation against the Palestinians, this is nothing new. As long as we have occupation and deprivation of freedom and justice, such condition would continue. The Israeli occupation are acting against the Palestinians in a very fierce way, as your report said, killing today 2 Palestinians in Jenin, another in Bethlehem, and another in Ramallah. 4 Palestinians were laid to rest just today. And apart from that, the every night aggression by the Israeli occupation police and the Israeli army against the Palestinians in occupied Jerusalem, torturing them, dragging them on the ground, and practicing all forms of violence against them to prevent them from celebrating Ramadan nights. Has anything to do with what happened in Tel Aviv or in Israel weeks ago? I don't think that it has anything to do with that. As long as Israel continues its occupation of the Palestinian land, building more colonial settlements, putting more checkpoints and barriers on the roads, denying the Palestinians' right to freedom, justice, and the statehood, I think such situation would not end. The only way out of this is a political solution. And the Palestinians are not asking for the moon. They are asking for implementing the resolutions issued by the international community and the United Nations as a way to solve the Israeli-Palestinian conflict.
Okay, I mean, you're looking at the situation from sort of 30,000 feet up. I mean, if you look at what's been going on since the last 14 days, I mean, do you think there are serious concerns that the rise in attacks could be leading to perhaps another intifada?
You know, since 2006, when the second Palestinian intifada is stopped, I think the situation never returned to normalcy, as every day the Palestinians are facing Israeli raids into their cities and refugee camps. Every day we see the Israeli settlers' violence against the Palestinians, chopping Palestinian olive trees, stoning the Palestinian passengers while moving and commuting between the Palestinian towns and cities, and practicing all forms of oppression against the Palestinian people. And the reports issued by Amnesty International, the United Nations organizations, calling Israel an apartheid state, never came from scratch. It's because of the continuing aggression by Israel against the Palestinians. So yes, the intifada is starting. What's happening day and night in the Palestinian villages, refugee camps, and cities is a clear sign that we live the situation and the status of intifada.
Osama Nazzal, thank you very much for joining us here on TRT World. Do appreciate it.